few days ago, Ideogram celebrated their 1 year of existence. I can't believe it's 1 year with Ideogram in our lives. I still remember the very first days of people starting to prompt everything. The free program, you can prompt as much as you want. Everybody was looking at everybody's prompts. It was super fun, but a lot has changed since then. Ideogram started their memberships plan with basically paying $8 a month, $20 a month, or $60 a month, depending on the plan. They have introduced new models for designs as well as new aspect ratios for the designs and upscaling feature, and of course the topic of today's video, which is the tiling option. For those of you who know me, you know that I'm a big Lexica fan and a little bit of a night cafe here and there, and I do like to make my seamless patterns by myself using Procreate. However, I am a curious person, and thus I spent $8 a month with a yearly billing to get the basic plan of Ideogram to test out the seamless patterns. And after testing them a little bit and thinking about the applications that they could have for print-on-demand products, I decided to make this video. So if you're interested in creating seamless patterns with Ideogram for print-on-demand or for any other project, stay tuned. This is what this video is about. I'm going to take you to my screen and show you the process of creating these seamless patterns. We're going to talk about the exporting options, a little bit about the grid options with half bricks, vertically aligned or horizontally aligned, and of course, show you how I upload them to different print-on-demand platforms. But before I do that, I just have to get one thing out of the way first, and that is, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Meo and I teach creative people how to sell their art online. And today, I am going to show you how to create seamless patterns using Ideogram AI and put them on print-on-demand products. Welcome to Ideogram. Let's jump right into pattern creation. I'm going to show you how the dashboard for patterns look like. So you can't do patterns on the 2.0 model or on the 0.2 model, only on the 0.1 model. And here you can see that there's a button that says off and there's a button that says grid. The minute we click on grid, it means that everything is going to be created in a seamless pattern and it's going to use 1 credit. Now let's look at some of the options here. The magic prompting, I'm going to show you later what it does. I'm keeping it on. It's brilliant. But we also have multiple aspect ratios. And for the people who only know Ideogram from like a year ago when they just got started, this is big. So you have a 1x3, a 3x1, everything is vertical and horizontal. You have 9:16, 10:16, 2:3, 3:4, and of course a square. And if you're wondering, how should I make my seamless pattern? Well, if you're using them for print-on-demand, you can actually choose whatever aspect ratio you want. It's going to be seamless on that aspect ratio. So I'm going to do 1 with a square and play around with the dimensions. Let's start with a 1x1 square. Now, my visibility is always going to be public because I don't pay for the highest membership on Ideogram, which also means that you can check out everything that I've ever done and use my prompts. There will be a link to my Ideogram profile down below. Moving on to the grid selection, because there are actually several options. You have this type of grid, which basically replicates everything in the center, to the right, to the left, up and down. You have a vertical brick grid, horizontal brick, a column and a row, which means that it's not going to be seamless up and down, which could actually be kind of important. So I'm going to show you how something looks based on these 3 grids. I don't like using the columns and the rows too much. And I'm going to write something very simple, red roses. I'm going to generate with a grid. I can already generate, again, this is real time. Let's generate it with a vertical brick. And with a horizontal brick. I didn't, by the way, specify if I want it to be an illustration of a rose, if I want it to be a photo of a rose. I just want to show you how the bricks look like. Now, it looks like it shows roses in a vase, and I want you to see, you can already see it here, the difference between the vertical brick, the horizontal brick, and the normal grid. So the normal grid is a 1x1. You can see it here. It basically created right to left, up and down. We have the vertical brick that goes up and the horizontal brick that is on the side, basically splitting this into this zigzag or splitting it like that. Let's have a deeper look into what it did for each and every one of those. And the first thing you can see is that it's moving. So you can see the pattern as it goes along, and you can play around with how much zoomed in and out you are on the pattern. I actually don't really like this feature. I keep clicking on pause every time I enter something like this. I wish that the play button was optional and that the pause would have been the start, but I guess it's good for show. Let's have a look at the other one. This is much more to my liking. This looks like the roses are up and down. And we have this one. Let's go back. Check out what I did with the vertical brick. If you don't remember, by the way, your settings, you can always check them out here. Okay. Nope. Let's go back to the horizontal brick. And again, this is by typing red roses. I didn't specify in what way. I am going to try and specify something in a different way. So let's write this. By the way, if you want to have a very good result on ideogram, start with a vibrant depiction. That somehow always seems to work. I wrote a vibrant depiction of crochet roses in blue and white, and I'm going to half brick them. That was the setting that we had from before. And I'm also going to vertical brick them. I don't really like using the grid, the normal grid option so much. We're going to head on over to my profile and see what it does. I like the fact that with the basic plan, and I'm guessing also the other ones, the creation here is much speedier, and my God, yeah, this looks amazing. Stop the play. Thank you. Let's zoom in and out. This looks really good. This is okay, I guess. I don't really like how it plays out, but it's okay. This is very intricate. Like, there's a lot of details. And we have this one, which is on circles for some reason, but okay. Now, I wrote a vibrant depiction of crochet roses in blue and white, and it created these different things. But let's say I really like this style best, or actually this style. I have here a magic prompt, which is amazing. So I'm just going to copy the magic prompt. And by the way, they're different for each and every one. It starts with the same thing that I wrote a little bit, but it's actually different from each other based on the design that was created. So copy paste this into here. And for some reason, every time the magic prompts come up, there will always be like a word that you have to like space into. But I'm also going to change this a bit. A stunning, intricate display of crochet roses in shades of blue and white. Here, I can actually give it a different color. So I'm going to do red and green. Now, do not click on enter because in most cases, the colors are going to repeat themselves again. So let's just read on through. Each rose is carefully crafted, featuring delicate petals that blend seamlessly into the next. The overall arrangement is composed in swirling organic pattern, giving the impression of a blooming garden. I like it. The background is a light pastel blue. Okay, this was based on what we had before. I'm gonna write the background. I have red, I have green. The background is light pastel yellow, allowing the roses to truly stand out and pop. Awesome. Generate this. Let's go back to my profile for the other half brick that we done with a crochet blue and white. I feel like these are like crochet flowers that someone hung over a wallpaper. And sometimes they actually do something like this. But yeah, let's head back to our magic prompted one. These are really cool. They're actually like spacing around. This is actually pretty cool. This is really nice. This is amazing. This really looks like someone crocheted these. And we have this, which kind of looks like a jungle, right? It looks like it's on the wall. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, my God, this would be an amazing blackout curtain. Amazing curtain for windows. This is absolutely stunning. It will also be stunning even as like a tablecloth or something like that. Now, let's talk about the download options. Let's start by downloading. I'm going to click on the three dots and download. And here we have options. The 1x1 tile, the 2x2, the 4x4, and the 8x8. Now, I'm going to download a 1x1. I am also going to download a 2x2. And I'm going to download a 4x4. And I'm downloading these because I want you to see the difference between the files that are downloaded when you do this. The first difference that I can show you is that the 1x1 is 1000 pixels and 24 by 1024. The 2x2 is 2048 by 2048. And the 4x4 is 4096 by 4096. However, If this is the size, it's because it's repeating the artwork multiple times. So in fact, I can use the 2x2 to create the 4x4 if I simply pattern it, for example, on Canva or with Repr. So it doesn't mean that the pattern that you download is bigger, because the 1000 pixels, I'm just going to round it up to like 1000, 2000, and 4000. The 1000 pixels is actually the same pattern as the 2000 pixels because it's a unit of that pattern. Now, I want you to notice something when it comes to seamless patterns. I'm going to click on the 2x2. Now, this rose over here is replicated on this side. It's continuing it because it's a seamless pattern. However, with the 1x1, we don't get the same result. This rose is not continuing here. This one is not continuing here. And that is because of the off brick pattern that we chose, whether it's vertical or horizontal. Let me explain it again in a much easier way. I'm going to open Canva and I'm going to create a design just to emphasize what I'm saying. It's going to be 2000 by 2000 pixels. And I'm going to quickly drop both of these patterns onto my design, the 1x1 and the 2x2. I'm going to go to Elements and go to Grids and select an equal 2x2 pattern. I'm going to work on the spacing to minimize it. And then I'm going to take the 2x2 pattern and drop it here. As you can see, this is in fact a seamless pattern. Never mind the white lines. I'm not going to do the process on Canva. I just want to show you that this is an actual seamless pattern. It continues itself at the meeting points. But the 1x1 is not. It's working its way when it comes to the vertical alignment, but not the horizontal alignment. And that is because it was a half brick. So if you're generating any half brick pattern, vertical or horizontal, either export this as a 2x2 tile, or when you upload it to a platform that allows tiling on the platform, make sure to tile it in a half brick way. And let me just quickly show you how that would look. I'm going to take this one. Let's minimize the screen, and I'm going to put it this way and copy it manually myself to 4 to show you how this half brick thing looks like. Because here we actually have a continuous pattern, but not below. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, center this. As you can see, I am building a vertical half brick, which could be done as a tiling option on a lot of platforms like Printful, Redbubble, Zazzle, and basically any platform that has an offset pattern. But if you want to make sure that your pattern is seamless, just download it as a 2x2 in these options of the download. Now I want to have a little bit more fun, not just with crochet. Let's find something else that we want to pattern. Let's do watercolor mushrooms on a half brick and generate this. And I really like the magic prompting because all I have to do is just type in a very, very simple prompt, and then it's going to give me different options. And I know how to generate these different options based on the magical prompt. Oh, wow. Would you look at that? This is actually really pretty, even though, as you can see, the mushrooms are not really correct. Let's zoom in. The mushroom here is not on point. We have this type of style. This one is actually cute. I actually really like this one. And this one. Let's have a look at this one. Let's download it as a 2x2 tile. And you can also favorite it if you want a more quick approach to it later, to not just find it between everything else. And I also really like this one. However, I don't like what it did now. So I have two options. One, I can just copy paste this. And this is my new pattern. Again, they keep forgetting spaces, and generate. Or I can remix this existing work. Let's also do the remix. Go back to my profile. When it's loading, it's kind of like an X-ray. Just a thought there. Okay, Let's have a look. This one is using the magic prompt. Okay. None of them actually looks good to me as just mushrooms. They all have some kind of problem to me that I see. This one is the remix. I think this is the most accurate one that I can't really find like mushroom mistakes here. This is also nice. I don't like that it has too many spaces though in between. But this one could be good, so we can download this one as well. Now I want to do two things. The first one is to upscale, and the second one is to show you how these things look when they're on a different ratio. So I'm going to go back to my profile and head down where I've created so many different things in the last hour. I'm in love with these owls. These are absolutely stunning owls. So I'm going to click on one of these owls. Let's say this one. And if I download it again as a 1x1 or as a 2x2, the 1x1 size, which is here, is 1024, and this one is 2048. Let's upscale this. When upscaling, I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to work on the details. I want to make sure that they're good. And upscaling actually costs 1 credit. I know that a lot of people really liked the pro plans or the upgraded plans of Ideogram just because of the upscaling feature. But I do know that a lot of people thought that upscaling is going to be something that they're not going to have to use their credits for. Well, they do. It's working here. I'm going to head over to my profile so we can see it, and it creates it basically in a different space, not in the same one that we were in before. I'm going to head on over to this. And here I can download this work only this way. There is no brick to download this in. I'm going to go back to Canva and to this work that was downloaded. It's a PNG file, and the size of the PNG file after upscaling is double. So basically, we doubled the size of the pattern to 2000 by 2000 for a single unit. And if I'm going to try and place it here, I'm going to have to use the half brick. And as you can see, it's not really working. It doesn't look like it's a seamless pattern, and that's because the previous one was a vertical brick and this one is a horizontal brick. So let me show you how to fix that. I'm going to move this here. This goes up. This is a seamless. This goes into the center, and it will create a seamless pattern this way, but I do not have the option to download this as a 2 tile in order for me to just be able to repeat the pattern without changing the alignment. What I can do if I don't want to waste the credit for upscaling this is to go to BIGJPG. There was a full video, by the way, about BIGJPG. I'm going to leave a link to that one down below, and just click on select images, and I'm going to select this one, the 2x2, and honestly, I don't really like to do this with the PNG files because then the export file is really, really, really heavy. So I prefer to sometimes do this kind of trick. I'm working on a Mac, but I think you can change the type of the file wherever you want. I'm clicking on Command Shift and Save, which basically duplicates this, closing it and saving it as a JPEG. And now the JPEG file of this is going to weigh much less, and the export is also going to be JPEG. I don't need to worry about the export being PNG because it's going to be bigger anyway. The initial file size was 2048 before the upscale because the download was a 2x2, and I'm going to click on Start with the highest noise reduction, upscaling it 4 times. I'm using the free membership of BIGJPG, and the type is artwork. While this is working in the background, we're going to head back to Ideogram and do different aspect ratios for our seamless patterns. So let's start with what I want to create. I want to create koi fish. Just koi fish, nothing else. Grid, vertical brick. Again, let's change it to a 3x4 or to a 2x3. 2x3 is good. And generate. Let's also write kawaii sushi. That would be funny. On a horizontal brick. And let's do watercolor flowers. And this time we're going to do a 3x4. And this is our seamless pattern. Now, I know that it doesn't really look like it's different because the photo here is a 1:1 ratio, but as you can see, it's not going to download this as a 1:1 ratio. But you can see definitely the difference between the flow of the koi fish. You have this, and this. I actually like this one. Let's magic prompt this. Let's not forget to use the same bricking alignment. This was a vertical brick, vivid, multicolored. Vertical brick, and this was a 2x3. And generate this with the magic prompt. I'm just going to download this for fun now just to show you that it does, in fact, download, not in a 1:1 ratio. And this is the image that we got. Not a 1:1 ratio, still a seamless pattern. Let's head on back and check out the other stuff. Oh, this is adorable. I'm actually looking at this and it just makes me want to like download this photo to Procreate and do it in my own style. But this is actually really cute. This looks like a small kawaii sushi chef. Not really clear. Some of them are a dragon. But I think that this one is so far the best one out of them all. And of course, you can copy the magic prompt. Let's go back. Look at our watercolor flowers. Different types of flowers in different styles. They're all watercolor, but again, with different magic prompts because they're all very different from each other. I said the word different like so many times now. Let's go back to our koi fish, to our regeneration using the magic prompt. This is gorgeous. This is a lot more intricate. This is a koi fish swimming from a magic garden. Honestly, I would just love a picture of this like that. Like just one of them. Like just one of these. This is so pretty. Now let's head back to what we've done. And the file is completed. I'm going to download this. This was this work. And now this is 8,192 by 8,192 pixels, which is a very good size. And I'm going to show you the difference of that. The easiest way will be to show it to you on Redbubble. We're going to click on add new work and upload. I'm going to upload the big one, the 8,100, and I want to show you how it differs when it's actually on a product. Let's go to the duvets and shower curtains, and as you can see, I can scale the image all the way up, and it basically covers the entire thing. This is the full size of the photo, which means I can cover the top and the bottom of the shower curtain with 79%, and let's continue this. Center, and 94% covers the entire shower curtain without the repeat. But if I replace it to this option, which of course I have the tiling option here, I can tile this if I want to, but now this is the size I have. Yes, again, I can go with the regular grid and tile this, but this is how it's going to look on a shower curtain versus, let's replace it back to the original image that I uploaded, the 8,000 pixels one, that I can still tile. I can still make it smaller and tile, but the depiction of this is going to look much differently. The larger your seamless pattern size is, the larger the depiction of each part of the tile is going to look, and it's going to create a whole different look. And this one is, for example, for Redbubble, which again, we do have the pattern option. However, on websites like Society6, we don't have the pattern option right there on the platform. And for that, we have an app called Repper. I'm going to start the app, create a new collection. Let's call it Ideogram Video Test, of course, and upload an image. I'm going to upload this 2x2 owl that we have, okay? And I'm also going to upload the bigger file that we created, the one that is 8,000 by 8,000 pixels. Let's choose the smaller one first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the selection part all the way to the side, open it. This is not a full Repper tutorial. I'm going to leave links down below to Repper tutorials. And with my tiling options, I'm going to go to seamed and regular grid. And now this is ready for me to download it and export it for Society6. If you've seen the Repper and Society6 video that I've done, then we have three sizes that we need for Society6, and those are 9400 by 9400, 7500 by 12,000, and 15,000 by 6,000. But I want you to see the difference between the upscaled work and the not upscaled work when it comes to exporting in these sizes. So if I want to download this at a size that will be good to cover our curtains, that would be 7500 by 1200. And it's telling me that it cannot download this right now with 300 dpi because I need to scale it up more. I need to repeat it more to fill out the gap because, again, the original file was very, very small. However, if I go back here and change the image to the previous one and then go to export, I want you to see what happens now. I can export this looking like this and put this on a window curtain because the original source image is bigger. And let me show you how it looks on Society6, not with this pattern because exporting it is going to take forever, but actually with a different pattern that I love from Ideogram. I was playing around a lot in the last couple of days, and I really, really enjoyed creating these kinds of owls and also the crochet flowers. Again, a link to my profile down below so you can basically copy the prompts. But what I've created was this kind of magical forest. Let me find it on Ideogram. It was one of these magical forests with birds on them. So I think that this would look insane on a window curtain. So I exported them in the sizes that I mentioned, 9400, 75 by 12,000, and 15,000 by 6,000. I'm going to call it Pink Birds on a Magical Tree of Life and continue. I have the rights. There is no problem with Society6 with selling AI art. Does this contain mature content? No, and continue. By the way, if you like this video so far or found this content useful, please hit the like button down below because every time you do so, believe it or not, it really does help my channel, and subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. And of course, Society6 is the slowest uploading platform in the world. I'm not going to be using this design for any of the framed prints or the art prints. I don't think it's going to look good as an art print. It is a seamless pattern. I personally don't really like doing that. I think it would look good with the wood wall art. I already know it's going to look good, but I'm guessing you can't because it's not uploaded yet. I'm going to scroll down to see what already managed to render. Society6 is like the slowest thing in the world. What's my internet speed? Yep, Society6 is one of the slowest things in the world. Okay, the wood wall art I'm still going to keep. The wall hanging I'm going to keep. And it wasn't even loading things on the curtains, the blackout curtains, the wall tapestry. So I'm just going to enable a lot of them. I fill out all the details, but as you can see, we can't really see how it looks. And I really wanted to show you how it looks on the blackout curtains. So I'm just going to reopen it. And this is how my Pink Birds on a Magical Tree of Life blackout curtain looks like. It's brilliant. I'm going to check out how it looks on other items, which is also pretty awesome. This just looks amazing, vibrant, and super cool. I'm gonna do a few more prompts just for fun, for something I guess more basic. Let's do geometric geometric lines, art deco colors. For example, generate. Oh, we're generating not in a 1:1 ratio. Interesting. Let's generate this in a 1:1 ratio. And I did want to show you how the non-1:1 ratio stacks up as well. We downloaded here. I'm just going to quickly show it to you on Redbubble again, but I'm not going to make it bigger this time just to show you that the non-1:1 ratio works as well. Let's take the chiffon top, for example, and just regular grid this. That's it. It looks perfectly fine. It doesn't matter that it wasn't a 1:1 ratio, it matters that it was seamless. Going back to Ideogram, let's have a look at what we've created with like simple geometric lines and art deco colors. I love Art Deco colors or mid-century style. And we have these, which are awesome seamless patterns. Actually, they're really good for like, I think that I feel like I keep thinking about either a wallpaper or thinking about wall curtains. But yeah, these would look really good. And again, we have magic prompts for all of them. Let's wrap it up with a few other cutesy stuff. For example, mid-century cats playing around an apartment. Let's give it a horizontal brick and a vertical brick. Let's move on to mid-century library filled with books. I think this would look really cool. And have a look at what we've done. Let's have a look, see here. Oh, this is so cute. It looks like they're on a chest. Is he dead? What is that? Is that jalapeno or blood? This one just wrote mid-century on it. It sometimes does that. I like the fact that they're playing, like there's like a record player here, but I don't like the text. This is absolutely stunning. Let's stop this. Wow. Other than this area here that was a bit off, we're going to recreate this. This is a horizontal brick. Okay. Copying the text. Space, horizontal brick. Generate. Let's have a look at the other one. This is also cool. This one kind of looks weird, I'm guessing because his head is different than his body, and this looks like a dog in underwear. I don't know. Let's do this one again as well. And we have the horizontal brick. I love the magic prompting. It's just brilliant. So I'm going to head back. Let's have a look at our books, our library. This is pretty good. This is really cool. For people who love books, this would be really cool. You know what? Let's just write a book rack. A shelf filled with books, mid-century modern style illustration. And if I'm going to do a shelf, I'm probably going to do the horizontal brick and not the vertical brick because the vertical doesn't make sense when it comes to shelves. The horizontal one does. And also one thing that I do love to do is things sitting on a wall. So let's do corgi puppies sitting on a brick wall, watercolor illustration on a half brick. Of course, it needs to verify that it's me or that I'm human. I'm doing it in inhuman speeds. Let's go back to checking out the cats that we regenerated with the magic prompts. This was wicked. We have this one as well. I really like the style that we had before. I can't really see it repeating itself. Maybe I should have just remixed the photo. Yeah, I think I should have just remixed the photo. This is actually kind of cute, but no, you know what? Let's just go back to this one where I think it was here, right? Nope, it wasn't here. It was in the first one? Yeah, we took both of them from the first one. Let's just remix this photo. And we're on horizontal half brick remix. Let's go back. I can just do this all day, the books. This is an insane pattern. I love this. I could have also like wrote like vivid, intricate lines or whatever, but this is mid-century style. This is just brilliant. Oh my god, I'm so in love. This just made me happy. This is just too adorable, you know? These are just, I can't even. These are just too adorable. Let's head back to our remixed cats. This one is much better, I think, even though the records are kind of off and weird. I think you can work on more details of this, but this is pretty good. I don't know why it brought in the records, but this is pretty good. You know what? I'm going to do something like this. What was the original prompt? Have a really cool and holiday appropriate idea. Mid-century cats playing around in an apartment. Instead, I'm going to write mid-century cats playing around between Christmas presents. Dum da da dum. Horizontal brick. Let's also do a vertical brick for this one, just to see the difference. So there is our horizontal brick. This is cool, even though this cat is creepy, because he's like rotating his head backwards like an owl. but these are actually pretty cool. This would look like a dope Christmas wrapping paper. A really, really dope Christmas wrapping paper. And let's have a look at the vertical brick. These are going to be amazing. Oh, wow. I love the black and white one. I didn't even think that this would be an option. So this has been fun, but let's get back to me and summarize this video. So that was fun, painless, and well, slow because it involved Society6 and upscaling, but mostly fun and painless. And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below regarding ideogram seamless patterns, or even if you have any comments about the seamless patterns that I was creating or their application on other platforms. Before we finish this video, I have 3 more things to say. I promise it's going to be short. The first is that while I was showing the process of creating product on Redbubble and Society6 with Ideogram, obviously you can use Ideogram seamless patterns for different print-on-demand platforms. Of course, those who allow you to upload AI artwork such as Zazzle, and or use them with different suppliers. Whether you have the tiling option with the supplier or the print-on-demand marketplace, or if you don't have that option, you can use the repper trick that I did for Society6 to tile this design further and further and further. The second thing I would like to say is that if you do want to use that repper option, or actually get the most out of repper, because repper has a lot more capabilities other than tiling your seamless patterns and exporting them in large sizes. I would leave links down below in the description for a few repper tutorials, as well as a link and a coupon code for 25% discount for our community members over on repper. And the third thing I wanted to say is that I will also leave a link down below to my ideogram profile, so you can go ahead and check out all of my prompts, remix my works, and use them, whether you want to use them for your print-on-demand creations or you just want to practice a little bit with these prompts and the process of generating seamless patterns. And number 4, I know I said I had 3 things to add, but I have a 4th one and I forgot. Sorry. Number 4, I'm also working on a video of creating digital download assets from AI art. Please let me know in the comments if that is something that is interesting to you, or what AI generators would you like me to test out or feature in that video. But with that being said, that was it for me for the day. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new or were at least entertained in the last 30-45 minutes or so. And as usual, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!